Hello, everyone. Welcome to Packers post-game chat on JS Online and Mr. Butler's Facebook page. And LeRoy, they got home field advantage. You predicted it. They got it. What did you think?
Well, first of all, there's a few things, a couple of milestones. Obviously, Devontae Adams. Don't wear my Devontae Adams shirt. I can't afford a jersey, so I got a shirt. But the guy's been amazing. The numbers he put up. He missed 2.5 games. It's really remarkable. Anytime you're with Sterling Sharp and Don Hudson, that's truly a remarkable season and missing 2.5 games. And Aaron Rodgers again proved that he's not only the MVP, but have a high passer rating. And when it started to snow, and the wheelless team, and me and Bill Schultz, our executive producer, were talking earlier. Who is Daphne? And they were like, "Well, who is this guy that it makes people think to say he's spreading the ball around to everybody?" And that's just so amazing. When this offense, hopefully, we were just looking at the percentage points. If they can finish the number one offense scoring, it's truly remarkable what the offense did. But it's really about the defense, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah. Was really kind of, what you would expect for a Bears game, which was just a grind. It started out looking like they might run away with it, but you knew the Bears weren't going to just roll over and give this game up.
Yeah.
What did you think was the turning point when the Bears got back into the game?
Well, I think the turning point had to be the turnover opportunities. Because it was just about a position, and the Bears were getting the momentum, and the defense stopped them. They held them to 3 field goals, and you think about it, if those are touchdowns, then you're in a real shootout. So I think the turning point had to be when, the long pass to Mooney down the middle. The Bears have the momentum, and the Packers hold them to a field goal. Now, the Bears were 4 for 5 on 4th down, but to me, it just the defense all year, Tom, let's be honest, all year they've been taking a lot of heat. But whenever you can hold anybody in the teams, you're going to win a lot of games. And you would think at the end, Jimmy Graham is about to score and Jerry Alexander stops him. I mean, they were the 7th-ranked defense. Now, that would make them going to maybe the top 5. If you got a top 5 defense going into the playoffs and the number 1 offense, you feel real good about it.
Yeah, and one of the things that we saw once again was that a team decided they were going to take out Devontae Adams again. And they put Kyle Fuller on him, and then they put someone over the top of him all game long. And it wasn't until LaFleur moved him inside, in the slot position that they started getting him the ball. And, it's interesting to me that teams are doing that because the Packers do have a good run game. But I think you also saw that Rodgers was willing to throw it to some other guys, too.
Yeah, he likes to spread the ball. I remember when Devontae Adams was out, 8 guys caught passes. And when Aaron Jones was out, 7 or 8 guys caught passes. I just think it's Matt LaFleur's offense with all the motion. It sometimes it really confuses defense. And that's a good defense. Now, the first time they had 182 yards rushing, Hicks did not play. So Matt LaFleur goes, okay, great. My adjustments are I'm going to empty backfield sets. Now you got to go cover the speed. MBS wide open. But, of course, they could have went up 28-10. And you know me, I'm pulling for him. I am. But you could have went up 28-10 at that point. The game probably would have been over. So I think what MBS brings to this offense is matchups. He's going to be on linebackers down the seam. Remember the Colts game when he caught the long one down the middle? When you play cover 2 or cover 4, the only guy to cover him is the middle linebacker. All you got to do is catch it.
Yeah.
So I don't. What do you do? I guess you should ask me that, but I'm asking you as a media guy.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. What do you do?
You really have to stick to the process, and you have to value what he brings. And at that point, you could replace him with St. Brown on the inside and give another guy an opportunity. But when you see his measurements and what he brings and everybody likes him, you just need more opportunities. Remember, he went a couple games with no targets after going 6 for 6 and 85 yards and a touchdown. So it's just, you just imagine how dangerous they would be if he caught all of his passes.
Yeah, well, this is kind of crazy to think of it this way. First, they're not up that high if it isn't for him in the first place with a 72-yard touchdown, right?
Yep.
So they're not in that position. But those drops for some reason seem to give teams drop their guard against him because they're not really that concerned about him. You see him, he doesn't go. He goes a couple games and doesn't get a catch, and then all of a sudden he explodes for a big catch. So I don't know if there's something about that. Of course, you'd want him to be consistent, but they can't just abandon him, I think.
Because he's going to be open. He's going to be wide open. And Aaron Rodgers, his progression has been the best I've ever seen. And he can find a wide open guy. But the good thing about Aaron, he'll come back to you, give you another opportunity. But sooner or later, the coaches are going to get frustrated, and they may try to move his opportunities and say that's why he doesn't get passes. Well, how do you not throw to a guy that's that wide open when he's your deep threat? So in the playoffs, you just got to pray he catches all of them, because those kind of plays, you're playing good teams like Tampa, the Saints, the Rams, these type teams, every opportunity, you got to put it away. But the defense, to me, Tom, had 2 long drives. Because something I want to talk about, time of possession. They gave up 2 drives, 14 plays, like 7 minutes. Every time you do that, Aaron Rodgers in that offense we're talking about is on the sideline.
Right.
So you were thinking the defense, and maybe, the defense can gather, and they did. But then the fumble, we're talking about turning points again. The fumble by takedown Austin in the red zone. The defense, again, held them to a field goal. If they scored then, it might be a different ball game, because you need Tavon Austin, because he's your motion guy, he's your special teams guy. But all year, special teams has been lacking in a lot of areas. So I'm just hopeful this team is so good, they're overcoming these mistakes.
Yeah, I'm going to get lashed by all the fans for this, and I'm not even sure
right now for the fan. What you finna say?
Yeah, and I'm not even sure I believe this. I'm going to say it anyways. But so they played Trubisky. They made him play laterally. He just did a dink and dunk throughout the entire game, and they said, I think what Pettine said to himself was, okay, as long as my offense is scoring, then, at the end, they're going to have to move the ball down the field, Chicago, that is. And then we'll play them, then we'll see the real Mitch Trubisky. I mean, they wanted to stop him on 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1 and all that stuff, but they weren't giving up big plays. And then you saw at the end when Chicago needed a big play, what happened? Amos picked him off. Okay. So, in that sense, I think he played the odds. I'm not sure that works in the playoffs, but for today it did.
It might. For 2 weeks in a row, Pettit has had a phenomenal game plan, because you knew they were going to try to run Montgomery. So I think your point is well taken. Sooner or later, Mr. Trubisky, now, full disclosure, it was 5 picks dropped in this game with both teams. I mean, both teams missed the ball like LeRoy Butler. I mean, I have no hands. That's why I play a safety. But the one Amos got, he wasn't even open. Nope. And that's the one that Savage got last time they played when he overthrew in the end zone. So I think your point is correct to say, Pettit saying, I'll play my chips a little bit conservative, just wait for him to throw it to you. Now, a lot of people maybe ragging on Kevin King about tackling and stuff, but when you have such opportunities, he's probably one of the best second corners you're going to find. So I'm okay with him playing, the way he's playing, but I would like to see him wrap up. And one of his shoulders is not in, not 100%, but he could have been player of the game. But I would say the defensive MVP had to be Amos. Man, he played great.
Yeah,
Played great.
he had his best game, I think, probably.
Yes.
He needed to be. This is a mistake they made early in the fall year. He should have been the guy in the box this whole time. I mean, I like Raven Green and he can cover, but Amos needs to be near the line of scrimmage, don't you think?
Oh yeah, no question about it. I mean, and I would like to see 26 up front too. See, your core players, Tom, have to step up. Billy Turner, he's sitting back relaxing, and he's Bakhtiari's gone.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, here we go again. You're scrambling offensive linemen. They've done it all year. And whoever the offensive line coach, you got to give him a shout out. So he's done a great job. But Billy Turner played the best you can play. Matter of fact, the first play of the game, they went to him. They did a toss. Didn't gain any yards. But Billy Turner is the veteran that you need because he can play guard, tackle, whatever, like Jenkins. So that David Bakhtiari news was devastating for morale in that locker room.
Yeah.
Left tackle hurting his knee. I don't know the specifics about it anyway, but once you heard it, people think, can you get to the Super Bowl? But you're going to put up 35 points. So maybe you have enough to get to the Super Bowl. But if you lose a left tackle, that's equivalent of losing a quarterback or a wide receiver or a running back that's all world because he affects Aaron's blind side. It's very important.
Yeah, but you went to the Super Bowl with Bruce Wilkerson, who was in his mid-30s and playing left tackle. So you can overcome it. You just got to have the right guys to do it, right?
Great point.
Yeah. So what did you think of Snacks Harrison? Did you get any chance to look at him?
Well, it was good. I didn't know if he was going to play or not, but it was good to see him get in there and get some plays because they're going to need him. Because for some reason, I wouldn't say I'm scared, but the more guys you can have in this bye week with COVID, because COVID is going to ruin one of these teams. Now, kudos to the NFL. They got through the season, but you got to get these guys, Tom, to really be safe because you need a lot of guys, grown men like Snacks Harris, to be available just in case something happens. But you just got to make sure Aaron Rodgers stay away from them. I would just send them away for like 2 weeks. So it's good to have a good veteran in the rotation and get him used to it. Because remember, he told Seattle he was done with football, but at the same time, you come in a new locker room, a new atmosphere, you get rejuvenated.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right about that bye, and it's sort of a double-edged sword. I think it's great for the players to rest up, but it's all this opportunity to, as Roger said when they asked him, what about the bye, and what would be his advice to the team? Don't get COVID. That's what he said.
Exactly.
So that's going to be a big challenge for them moving forward. This week. And I wouldn't be surprised if LaFleur has them in all week long, maybe just for meetings. They probably won't be on the field, but they got to find a way to keep them safe.
Yeah, because you're going to have 2 doubleheaders next weekend, so you're going to chance to see a lot of football, break down a lot of film. You'll probably have an idea this weekend who you're going to play. You can get ahead of that. I would agree. I would meet a lot. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'll sit back and drink some of my new vodka and just think about the MVP. And you have to say congratulations, Tom, to Matt LaFleur. What he's done, I don't even know if you could put it into like words how good he's been. Because the first year, people thinking it was a fluke when they were 13-3. New coach, 39 years old. How are they going to get along with Aaron Rodgers? 13-3 again. It seemed like he beat the teams who beat him last year, like Philadelphia, like San Francisco. It's almost like he was getting revenge on the teams that cost him, number 1 seed last year. So congratulations to him. But again, I don't know about the percentage points as we tape this because it's live. So if they finish with the #1 offense, MVP quarterback, 7 Pro Bowlers, this is going to be a great season. But I know what fans are saying. I know what they're saying as they're watching this. Can you get to the Super Bowl? And when you go through Lambeau Field in January, it'll be 17 degrees, 3 below wind chill. I take the MVP quarterback, the best coach, and the best team anytime.
All right. Well said. All right. You got a couple sponsors, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, too, I want to also say I appreciate the fans. The fans have been fantastic. Without the fans, you can't even do this kind of stuff in this COVID era. So shout out to the fans. Thank you, and we love you, of course. First, I want to do my game day brats because we have a new flavor, the classic. So I'm very excited about that. And matter of fact, I have a new flavor coming out in February for Black History Month. So I'm pretty excited about that. The Jewelry Center, Dean Murray, shoptjc.com. Of course, Ivanhoe's Pub and Eatery. You can just go to the website, call. If you're in the Racine area, it's by far the best food and best place to watch a game, too. Pick and Save have always been there. I mean, they're just amazing. And if you have a kid dealing with bullying, the best way to give them something to read is one of the best books I've ever read. And again, we have our awesome Frankie WreathCo.com, our wreath, and that's David Bachar's wife, Frankie, so we can always help. And we have a new sponsor, Bill and Tom, Leap Spirits. Yeah, leapspirits.com. That's my new vodka. You can just go to the website. You can follow them at Leap Spirit on Twitter, at Leap Vodka on Facebook, and they give away a lot of my stuff. I don't know how they do it.
Hey, I have a bottle.
Hey,
I have a bottle on my dining room table. I bought some club soda today. You know, I'm all ready to go. Actually, Janet did, but we're ready.
Well, make sure you share it with her. Don't just take it all for yourself.
I will for sure.
Well, thank you again to the fans, and we really appreciate it.
All right. Don't forget to check us out later in the week, and we will see you.
Yep.